Well, hello, I'm John Bachkman. The controversial Keystone Pipeline bill could be failing in the U.S. Senate after hours of debate today. One swing vote that could be needed to reach the 60-vote threshold for requiring passage is voting against the pipeline. Independent Senator Angus King of Maine says he's not supporting Louisiana Senator Mary Landrieu's bill because he says it's not Congress's job to approve a construction project. Landrieu, a Democrat, is pushing for the bill in hopes that it will sway her runoff election against Congressman Bill Cassidy. Also, Senate Majority Leader-elect Mitch McConnell is urging Democrats to vote yes as well.
It would increase our supply of North American energy, and it would do all that with minimal net climate impact. That's why the American people support it.
Well, the House has already passed a version of the bill, and Speaker John Boehner says if the Senate does manage to pass the legislation, the president should sign it.
Vetoing an overwhelmingly popular bill would be a clear indication that he doesn't care about the American people's priorities. It would be equivalent of calling the American people stupid.
Well, the vote is set for 6:15 a little later this evening. Meanwhile, former Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, won re-election today for another 2 years. She ran unopposed. She will continue her reign as the House Minority Leader. Pelosi has been the jefe of House Democrats for the last 12 years. Also, the White House is condemning today's attack on a synagogue in Jerusalem. Press Secretary Josh Earnest says the assault is deeply troubling.
There can be no justification for an attack like this against innocent civilians. And the thoughts and prayers of the American people are with the victims and families of those who were killed and injured in this horrific attack.
Well, these comments come after police say two Palestinian cousins stormed the house of worship there, that synagogue, armed with guns and knives, and killed 4 men, including 3 American rabbis. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he will demolish the homes of the 2 suspects who were shot and killed by police. He also says his country is under a wave of terror. And while Israelis mourn the men killed in the terror attack, there were celebrations in the streets of Gaza. People passed out candy while children waved flags. Hamas praised the men for their actions. And we continue to wait for that grand jury decision out of Ferguson, Missouri. The jury will decide whether or not to indict police officer Darren Wilson in the shooting of Michael Brown. Missouri Governor Jay Nixon has activated the National Guard and declared a state of emergency ahead of that release. Today, the White House urged for peaceful protests. And the NFL Players Union says it's promising to appeal today's indefinite suspension of Minnesota Vikings running back Adrian Peterson. The NFL has sidelined Peterson for the rest of the season without pay after the star player pleaded no contest to abuse charges. He's accused of whipping his 4-year-old son with a switch, but claims it was just discipline. In New York City, outdated payphones there may be getting a high-tech makeover. The mayor wants to replace them with free Wi-Fi hotspots and charging stations for cell phones. The whole project will be paid for by digital ads. Another update coming up for you in 30 minutes. I'm John Bachkman. Now back to the Steve Malzberg Show.